Which is more accurate though? So this one says 28 minutes and we got 34 over here. Etherscan.
Yeah, that one keeps being pushed back constantly. It's some
Uh-huh.
slow
And then-
blocks right now.
There's another one. Watch the burn says
And Ethernets.
37 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be that one right there. Yeah.
You think it's going to be watch the burn?
I mean, Etherscan and Watch the Burn agree. I don't know what algorithm they're using.
We have
Or no,
consensus.
they don't agree.
All right, we're live on Bankless as well now, I think.
Welcome, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Yo.
Oh,
Hey.
Are you
So
gonna give
what's
us a
147
well-spun
blocks?
analogy today, Justin?
an analogy.
Oh, he's got a rap song.
Whoa. Go, Justin.
We'll see. We'll see if the fee burn is greater than the issuance. If it is, then yeah, I think the analogy is kind of, Ethereum is standing on its own feet. It's financially independent. Kind of the income that it has is greater than the expenses. That kind of analogy. But we will see. I mean, it's
No
looking
more
very, very
freeloader
good.
Dapps.
Right.
Right. Everyone has to pay their taxes. So yeah, my expectation is that the base fee is going to match roughly the slow price on gasnow.org. So maybe something like 35 Gwei, in which case, we'd be at Mach 3. So we'd be burning 3 times more than the proof of work issuance.
Mach
Sorry,
3 on
stake
proof of
issuance.
work? Okay, not on proof of stake.
Should we all
Sorry, not on
just,
proof
should we all
of
just
Sorry,
have
on proof of stake.
transaction spam just lined up so we can get that base fee over 110? At least we can just start burning ETH just for a little bit.
The ETH pump is on as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I don't trust these price movements right now.
I know.
I mean, keep in mind, Anthony looked at the 1 minute chart. So
Oh, yeah.
it might be a
26.30. That pump is on.
I'm selling the news right now.
Literally staring at the 1 minute chart. Oh my God, it's pumping.
Permanent damage to those dopamine receptors.
This is it, guys. Next stop, 10K.
Hey, we're always going to 10K. It's always in Ethereum's
We're
future.
always going to 10K. It's just a matter of the detours between now and then.
Yeah, and hey, David, I was gonna make a public service announcement. I assume we've formally kicked off. Are we doing?
Yeah, am I
kickoff?
online?
Yeah, we are currently live streaming.
We are
both
live,
on-
yeah.
We're live.
David, do you want to
Hey,
say
everyone.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
formally
David, you want to
kicked
kick us
guys.
off?
Yeah, kick us off, David. Do something formal.
We're live. Hooray.
I think it's 5
But
a.m.
not
David's
London.
time.
London's not live.
London is not live.
We got
London's not
25
live.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what you want, DC.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I just tweeted at Metamask and I was just asking if they've already updated their wallet to reflect the base fee functionality. And so it sounds like my crypto actually responded and said that the functionality is available if you want to build it yourself, if you want to do a custom build locally. But otherwise, once there's a little bit of runtime with 1559, they'll roll it out more broadly. So just stay tuned for that. In the meantime, it's important to remember that EIP-1559 is backwards compatible with all existing wallet software. So users don't necessarily have to worry about that kind of compatibility. There may just be some situations where in the interim, you're paying a little bit more for gas until you get a wallet that supports the base fee.
How about MetaMask, DC? So is MetaMask going to roll this out pretty quickly?
That's what I was talking about. Sorry, it was MetaMask.
Okay.
Yeah, my crypto just responded to my tweet, and I assume that they know. So that's the situation on MetaMask.
Have you guys seen any early looks of what the MetaMask interface is going to look like post EIP-1559?
Just remove the gray price.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it too. It's pretty similar. There's just 3 boxes still, but it's a little different. I forget where I saw
Metamask
it.
has a website for it that I'll get it 1 sec. I can put it in the chat if Ryan wants to bring it up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
And it shows like a few screenshots there, I think, or there was a video of it.
There we go. Wow.
I
They've got a whole
cannot believe you
explainer.
said the pump on.
The video is really good. It shows like exactly what it looks like.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's coming on the
Good job,
stream, man.
MetaMask.
So it's good that they've got dedicated section to it for users.
Yeah, this is great.
You can probably skip ahead to the interface. If you just, yeah, it should,
Oh, here
it
you
should
go.
pop up. Yeah, that's, yeah, there you go. Kind of like looks like that.
Oh man, so much better.
FIAT.
I feel like this is actually
Estimating gas fee.
intuitive now.
Total.
Yeah, if you
Likely
keep going,
in
it'll
less
show
than
like the
30
advanced
seconds.
settings.
Okay, so this is just the basic setting right there.
Oh god, that's so nice.
Look at
Yeah, and then you
God, it's
can
been
drop down the
years
advanced
I've been
options.
dreaming of that.
that. Literally years.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss having gas now open on one tab,
Yeah.
missing, then entering it in. Transaction doesn't confirm, so I speed it up again.
Right.
Gonna miss that.
This whole
I just-
entire like 2-year process of waiting for EIP-1559 just allows me to uninstall one browser extension finally.
It always jumps up right after you send too, because MetaMask is defaulting to that price, and then everybody goes one above it. So you send it, and you're like, "Oh man!" And then you got to resend, guaranteed every time.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
this
of,
looks
Yeah.
good.
And that's like the bidding dynamic that
There
I
you
feel
go.
like hasn't been adequately modeled, and we may see some nice improvements just in the in terms of how gas prices move, because you don't have that human psychology kicking in where it's like, oh, I need to bid higher than is being suggested so I can get my transaction in.
Totally.
So I think it'll be pretty interesting to watch.
Oh, MetaMask is telling all the plebs to use 35. I'll use 36.2.
Yep, exactly.
yeah, I think it's really good that they put together a video like this and a whole section on it as well.
Yeah, great job.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole point is that mostly users won't have to touch the advanced options anymore, like they currently do. Like,
Yeah.
so
If I'm not mistaken, watchtheburn.com plus ultrasound.money plus Etherscan block countdown are all pointing to the exact same minute.
okay.
Cool now. Finally have consensus.
It's gonna be 20 minutes. from now?
20-ish, 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Brian,
Ultrasound.
try refreshing Ultrasound Money.
Hey, hey.
Oh yeah. There you go. 120 blocks.
Yep, we have consensus.
Justin, do you know who's behind ultrasound.money? Does anyone?
I don't know.
Don't know?
Well, I was on the Bankless podcast at the very end saying that I bought a domain ultrasound.money, and I was looking for people to go help build the website. So what happened is that about 10 people from the community came forward, many of which were just volunteering their time, and now we have kind of this decentralized team of people just working on this website, which is super cool.
Wow.
Only in crypto
And,
can a
so-
meme get full-time attention for free.
Yes. And yeah, the team is also helping with the Twitter account. So the Ultrasound Money Twitter account, there's a team of people behind that as well.
It's
I love the
amazing.
website. It's clean as hell.
The website is super clean. Every few days, I get like DM'd by the Ultrasound Money Twitter, like which is like bat signal.
Yeah, I get
super-
that
or it's like, who's in my DMs? Oh, it's Ultrasound Money account. Like, cool. That's all they send.
Oh man, it's a good meme. Like I love it. And it triggers people just the right amount too, which makes it a very good meme.
I love how just non-Ethereum people think it's the stupidest meme ever, because they will let you know how stupid they think it is. And I'm just like, Udi tweeted out yesterday, the Ultrasound Money meme is the cringiest meme out of the ETH head camp I've ever seen. And I commented right below it, yet here we are. It's like, he keeps on talking about it.
Hey,
That guy's
look at
still
the
going.
You guys might know this person, but I'm going to let him into
look
the
at the
Zoom.
farm down there. Are we all there? The ones that are live on the call, the ultrasound
Down the
family?
bottom, Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah.
down the bottom. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think this
Anybody
is
missing?
Vitalik's missing.
I'm definitely missing.
Oh,
So what
I'm
does it
on
take
it.
to get on this list? You have to wear the bat signal, right?
You have to wear the bat
Your Twitter
signal
account?
and have a lot of
Your
followers.
profile.
Yeah, it's ranked by follow account.
So the way it's ranked, I believe, is that the first
it's
few
not
are
ranked
ranked
by
by follow
follower.
account, and then the
Yeah.
last few are kind of chosen at random from the community. So every once in
Okay.
a while, if you're just a community member, you should see your profile there.
That's a cool way to do
yeah,
it.
Oh, hey, Vitalik, you're here.
Oh, hey, it's Vitalik. Hey,
Hey.
Hey, Vitalik.
for 1 second, look back and it's
No.
Vitalik.
All right, I'm gonna
Okay,
start.
so Eric, you said, is it too early to drink? Mariano, I think you concurred it's not. What do you got? I got a beer.
You actually have a beer?
I'm with my mate right now. It's 7:15 a.m. But I'll join with a beer.
All right, yeah, it's 7:15 and I have a beer, but
I would have a beer, but I've been roped into doing a live stream podcast with Bankless later this afternoon. So I want to keep a clear head.
Well, I'm gonna have a beer though.
You know, while we're hanging out, I would be interested to get the perspective of the EIP-1559 authors and how they feel on this day.
One first, Vitalik.
How do I feel on this day?
How do you feel?
Let's see. Again, definitely happy that this thing that's been worked on for like literally almost 4 years now is finally turning into reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. When did that original EIP-1559 paper come in? Let me check. Resource.
It's a long time ago. I think it was like 2019.
2018.
Wow.
Let me check. Draft position paper on resource pricing. This was August 18. Okay, yeah. So it's not okay. So it was not something we've been working hard on for 4 years. It's something that we've been working on for 3 years. That's
2018 was
disappointing.
that ETH research post on first price auctions.
Yeah, it was. And then I was trying to remember when that economics and computation conference that Carl and I went to that ended up inspiring the whole thing. It was at that event. I think it was like it was EC, I guess, 2018 that we were talking with some of the local economists, and they mentioned how first price auctions are evil. And yeah, we were, and then some of them suggested second price auction as an alternative, or was that Goon? Maybe it was both. But then second price auctions, of course, have the problem that they're not collusion resistant. And in Li Shengwu's econ language, he uses the word credible auction, but like in that case, credible mechanisms. There's the link. But credible in this case just means that like immune to collusion between mechanism participants and the mechanism operator, which of course we want.
Second price auction simply means like a normal auction, except not the top price gets selected, but the second highest price gets selected, correct?
So the one who bid the top price wins, but
Yes.
they only pay the price of the second.
So Vitalik, what was the Ethereum community's reaction to this research post?
Well, as you can see, it's 18 hearts, but I think the problem is that there's a big difference between being fascinated by something theoretically and being willing to throw in the energy to actually get it out there in reality.
Yeah, we brought it to the community like I think it was like March of 2019. So it's even been 2.5 years since I mean, as in like try to put it in a Medium post and explain the benefits a little more. And then it seemed like from there it started to pick up some steam.
Yeah,
Well,
Eric.
there's a lot of the usual suspects there commenting. I saw Philippe,
Yeah.
Mika, Dan Robinson.
Well, it sat for a while before, Eric wrote up the EIP, right, Eric?
Yeah, honestly, it was just I was frustrated with the user experience of every day and like realizing that there's no way we're going to hit mass adoption really with the way that fees were being handled. And I don't know, I would always just browse ETH research and somehow I ran into It wasn't even this discussion. It was the paper that you were referencing, Vitalik, and I kind of reached out to you and said, hey, why isn't this picking up some steam? And then, yeah, we just kind of, I believe at the time, just Vitalik and I co-wrote the original EIP. And then after that, it really picked up steam. That's when a lot of different people jumped in. And I can't really take much credit at all beyond
Usually
that.
when you ask yourself, why isn't this picking up steam? That's a sign for action.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. I was like, this seems so obvious. Let's do something about it. And then, yeah, everyone else that got involved jumped in and kind of took it from there, which was awesome.
So Eric,
it's funny. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
This is the original EIP right here that we're looking at.
That's the final, but yeah, the original draft was way more thin than that. It's funny though, right? Like there's all these great ideas out there and they start off very technical and usually like on ETH research. And it really needs to go through this like interesting process of translating that to the community and like why it's beneficial. Like the whole, it makes sense why this took 3 years or 3.5 years or whatever it did, if you really think about it.
Yeah,
there's been work got. Sorry, I was just gonna say the bulk of the work got done like the last year as well. Like since that Gitcoin funding that happened in like June of 2020, that was like a strong signal to like everyone, hey, we want this now. And it still took a year from there. So yeah, this is a really big and complex change. The amount of work that's gone into it is just incredible.
Yeah, I thought the multi-sig that kind of got behind it in the community pushing for it was pretty badass.
Yeah, and everyone making a whole bunch of Gitcoin donations and like directing half the matching pool to it at one time.
Yeah, I was just reflecting on how much effort has gone into this all the way from, when it was proposed to when it was first being analyzed by Rick Dudley and his team through to kind of, even the analysis done by third parties like Tim Roughgarden was also important in the advancement of this. And I think more recently, the work that Tim Bako and James Hancock and others did to kind of advance this was significant. And even when Hudson was involved with that process as well. So I think it's been an incredible effort and a long time coming. So I'm excited.
There was a while there where I was worried this wasn't going to happen. I was worried that no one was really going to pick it up and coordinate it and run with it. But this is an example of, sort of the chaotic, decentralized nature of the Ethereum community actually pulling this out and making it work, making it happen. So it, pretty exciting.
Ryan, you got to remember, we were focused on our most favorite EIP, ProgPow. So we had other priorities.
Oh God. Let's shut down the stream after that got brought up. Yeah.
Spent so much time on
ProgPow debate number 37.
Yeah, surprise everyone. We're talking ProgPow.
We're actually overdue for a ProgPow debate, guys. So
do you always start talking about ProgPow after one beer?
I just get this 1,000-yard stare and just say it too many times.
So when we switched to Starks, and it turns out that for a Stark, you actually need to do a little bit of proof of work to grind some Merkle root if you want to reduce the number of challenges to cut the data size of a Stark down. Just to troll everyone, can we use ProgPow as the proof of work algorithm?
No.
I'm done. Vitalik, can you give us the intuition on traditionally why a second price auction is better than a first price auction?
Sure. Maybe so. The economic arguments for why second price auctions are optimal is basically that, imagine that you have some personal.
And what are we optimizing?
We're optimizing for basically a naive algorithm being the optimal algorithm for each participant. And so I'll explain the property that second price auctions have that's really nice. Essentially, let's say you value something that's being auctioned. Let's say we're auctioning, I don't know, an NFT of an NFT of a Doge or something, right? So let's
a meta NFT.
Yeah, which you pay for with MetaMask. So you value this NFT at $10, and the question is what value do you want to bid, right? So if you bid less than $10, then there exists the possibility that, let's say you bid X where X is less than 10, then someone else who values it somewhere between X and 10, there's the possibility that they would bid some amount in between X and 10. And so like in that particular case, so basically there's the possibility that you end up not actually getting the item, basically because of this other person ended up getting in with a lower bid. Now, in the case where there is someone who, or if you bid greater than 10, then there's the possibility that you win and you end up having to pay more than you, or a larger amount than what you actually want, right? And if you bid 10, then like basically, so here's the thing that happens. The thing that happens is that your bid and like the exact value of your bid, it does not influence how much you pay. It only influences whether or not you win, right? That's a really important criterion. And when do you want to win? Well, you want to win when the amounts that you're going to pay is actually is less than the amount at which you value this NFT of the NFT of a Doge. So if you bid 10, which is equal to your valuation, then if the highest bid among everyone else is less than 10, then you win. And you have to pay an amount less than 10. But then if someone else is willing to pay an amount greater than 10, then you don't win. And in that particular case, you want to not win because had you won, you would have had to pay an amount greater than 10, right? So basically, like the fact that the amount that you pay does not depend on your bid. The only thing that your bid determines is like basically whether you get the item or you don't get the item. And you only get the item in those worlds where you have to pay an amount less than you value anyway. Like basically means that the simple algorithm of like just bid the amount at which you value the item is just going to give you the best results, right? So it's a very simple mechanism. In order to choose the correct bids, you don't have to know anything about anyone else's preferences. You don't have to go second guessing other people. There isn't like some risk that you guessed wrong and there's some inefficient outcome. And it
doesn't help if you have other participants, like if you are 10 people and you're trying, like you can't collude
actually
with yourself, really.
You can a little bit. So this is the problem. Like basically, if you control the top two, the participants with the top two valuations, then your optimal strategy is not to bid honestly. Your optimal strategy is to bid what the third valuation plus 1 cent. This is assuming you have like perfect information. Yeah. Like, but if you have like, I think even the slightest amount of information about the probability distribution of the third, then like, I think that ends up like distorting and giving you at least a little bit of extra profit. So
if I'm selling the NFT, I prefer a first price auction, correct?
No, actually no. So there's these theorems that are called revenue equivalence theorems that basically show how for a wide class of possible auctions, your expected revenue is going to be exactly the same. I know this is really weird and spooky, and I actually haven't really examined the proofs of this, but it's true. So yeah, now if you want to survive collusion, then like, basically, one thing you could do is instead of a second price auction, you have a kth price auction, and kth price auctions are resistant up to K-1 colluding participants. But in general, like, that you hit upon something really important, which is that auctions are not like infinitely collusion resistant. And that's actually why EIP-1559 is not a second price auction. It's a totally different kind of mechanism where that's just a fixed fee.
People compare it to a second price auction though, right?
I guess they do, though those comparisons are slightly misleading. Like, I think the correct statements to make would be that it avoids the inefficiencies of first price auctions the same way that second price auctions avoid the inefficiency of first price auctions. So like the key property, right, in the second price auction is like the amount that you bid does not determine what you pay, it just determines if you pay. And in EIP-1559, that's true as well, right? The max fee only determines whether you get in, it doesn't determine what you pay. Well, oh no.
see.
DC, when Vitalik was talking about if you want to buy this NFT for $10, he was talking about your CryptoPunk hoodie.
Yeah. No one's going to be buying that one anytime soon. So good luck. Although I do want to, I think there's a common misconception around some of the NFT stuff, and people are like, oh, Ethereum's too expensive, so that's why these NFTs cost a lot. But realistically, what has happened with some of these NFT mechanisms is they're using a gas auction as the primary distribution method, which is suboptimal in a lot of ways. And I think you're going to see more and more projects move away from that. But basically, rather than selecting the buyers through some other mechanism, like say a Dutch auction or something else, they were basically letting people kind of bid up gas, and whoever gets the transaction in first wins. So I've never liked that distribution model because it favors people who know how to use the network a little bit better, or might be able to set up bots to get transactions in faster and things like that. So I think that model will slowly kind of phase out as we move forward.
Because you don't have, so let's look at time windows that are only kind of, there's a frenzy going on. Does this change, do the mechanisms change at all really, or does it revert to the public first price?
It reverts to a public first price when there is a frenzy going on. Well, it reverts to a public first price for the subset of users that really care about being included quickly.
Right.
If you're okay with waiting 2 minutes in the extreme cases, then you can just continue to kind of live in the normal world, and you just have to wait a bit more.
Does it reduce the chance of frenzies because there's going to be less of like the psychological model of I need to click the button regardless, like just for end users?
Yeah, that's definitely one reason why it reduces frenzies. Another important reason why it reduces frenzies is that transactions that get included quickly are less likely to fail, and so you're less likely to need to resend. A third reason why it reduces frenzies is just the fact that if there exists a burst of many transactions, like n times block size transactions, instead of it needing n blocks to clear, it needs n over 2 blocks to clear.
So if it is frenzy resistant, in some cases, would that actually lead to slightly less gas, less fees for the end users?
Interesting. I guess. I mean, unless of course, like induced demands takes over and like we just get even more users.
Hey, Trent.
We are less than 5 minutes out, I think, depending on which clock you are monitoring. So on Etherscan, we are close to 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes. On Ultrasound.money, we are at about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So this is fast approaching. Hudson, since you've lived through many of these hard forks, sir, how do we know if this is successful? What happens when the hard fork happens?
That's a funny question. First, hi Trent. Let's all say hi to Trent.
Hey Trent.
Hey Trent.
Hey, I'm good to just sit back and listen to all you guys talk about nonsense. So keep going.
Look at those flowing locks over there. Wow.
So basically, right now, at least, so I used to run the core developer meetings every other week, and during hard forks, we would, before there was like the proliferation of all these live streams, some of the time there would be just a private Zoom call with some of the core devs. Or if something went wrong, there would be a Zoom call with the core devs. That still happens. So we'll know if something went wrong because there'll be like a few people who know where to go for the information, like me, Trent, Danny, and Tim, and just be leaking stuff to Twitter slowly over time. That's generally how it goes down.
So if some of you guys suddenly disappear from this call, then that's probably bad news. Is that what you're saying, Hudson?
Yes, pretty much. So yeah, no, so but for real though, like, it's pretty organic, and usually during times of emergencies that we just kind of, the core devs just kind of come together and then just troubleshoot and fix it. And it's pretty straightforward. There's no one usually panicking or anything like that. It's really professional.
How do the core devs typically like feel before a fork? Is it just
what a question?
Zen? Because like, look, man, I'm just looking at this clock, this countdown, and I'm, get a little nervous, to be honest. Things could, you never know. But I'm not a core dev. How do they feel about these things?
Danny, Vitalik, what do y'all think? Or Trent or anyone else? I don't know because I'm not a core dev, but I think they're pretty nervous.
Medium. They usually go well. Yeah. Everyone's definitely watching because they might require action. But I don't think anyone's, well,
All right, guys, we have 6 blocks left, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to sponsors real quick. Here we go.
I think Ultrasound Money is a bit slow. There's like 4 blocks or something now.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Oh man, this is jeez.
It's happening.
It's happening, guys. It's happening.
4 blocks
finally.
remaining.
Anthony, how does the 30-second chart look? Are we pumping, dumping?
We have, since Anthony last commented, the ETH pump is on, we have dumped.
Yes, actually.
As per convention.
3
It's
blocks.
Bitcoin. It's ruining our party. That bloody
2
pet
blocks.
rock.
2 blocks. 2 blocks remaining.
I wonder who's going to get the first burn transaction.
All right.
Oh man.
All right, here we go.
1
Next
block
it
remaining,
is.
guys.
One block. Oh.
It's happening. EIP-1559 History. 1559, excuse me.
1559.
5-9.
155.9.
What is 159?
559.
There we go. It's done.
It's
All
here.
right, it is.
This is
Yeah,
it.
EtherScan's got it.
Wow.
Boom.
The gas
Block
limit
number.
has doubled, and the gas
nice.
used is 100% as expected. So I'm expecting it to be 100% gas used for the next roughly 5 minutes, and the base fee,
What's that?
the base gas price will.
But we
What's
might
that?
see the gas go down if miners didn't reset their target. So that'll be interesting to watch.
So we started at 1 way base gas price, and we should be increasing to, I don't know.
Yeah, the next block is 1.12.
If you guys,
Okay,
I
looks
shared
like the
a-
gas limits are going down.
Yeah, call your miner,
and
call
base
your
fees
local
going up.
miner.
Ryan, skip forward to the next 2 blocks.
There's a little arrows there.
Oh, okay.
It's always fun watching Ryan navigate.
The gas
I
limit
don't look block by block, guys.
I'll go ahead and monitor all the core dev channels and websites to see what's going wrong, if anything.
Burnt fees, 0.04 ETH. That's nice to see.
I'm seeing red on
this.
Node Monitor, but I forgot how to look at this.
So we
On
have burnt
Forkmon?
some ETH.
Yeah. Do you remember how to read Forkmon? Danny?
Let me see.
Hey,
I
quick
think-
question, guys. How much bigger is the elastic max size versus what the previous gas limit? I actually don't know.
it's doubled.
double.
It's double what the normal
Right.
is. Okay.
So currently the gas target is 15 million and the gas limit, so the total max size of a block is 30 million. Of course, that depends who's voting what. You know, it might take a little bit of time to stabilize. If some pools are pointing at a lower
Ryan, go to watch the burn.
gas limit.
There, that's real nice. Oh, it's dead. It's dead for me.
The way you said that,
Everyone's
David,
giving it
that
the
was so freaky, man.
We all know how I feel about ETH. It's not a secret.
Yeah, ETH, burn it.
Yeah, all right, let's burn it, guys.
Oh man.
So do blocks get new data, or is it the transactions themselves? Because both. Oh yeah,
Yeah. There's a new transaction type which
I'm on
trying to.
Seth block latest. I see base fee per gas. This is
Yeah.
new.
So I'm trying to find, EtherScan had a label, and I'm trying to find what the first actual new transaction type is, what the first transaction is. But there's a little label on the far right. I think they had it, but I haven't found any yet.
Oh,
means
so
nobody-
nobody.
There might be one. I just haven't found it in a block yet. But basically, everything is burning ETH as expected. That'll happen for all legacy transactions going forward.
And
By
right
the
now
way,
the blocks are
it's-
completely
Oh.
full, right?
Yes. Is watchtheburn.com still like live somewhere else, or because the site's been not working for
DDoS.
It's down for me.
Hug of
Uh,
death.
EtherScan
see.
shows the gas burn per block, but
Right,
not
right,
a
right.
cumulative
It's,
amount. Yeah.
seems like the sort of thing that ultrasound money should have in there somewhere. Yes, not right,
It
yes.
should be coming. I think it's getting DDoSed as well.
Yeah.
The burnt fees
Okay,
every single
well-
block keep on going up. So the most recent block has 0.15 ether burned, and it's been going up every single block since the hard fork.
Oh
You could
wow,
also
the base fee is already
try-
up to 6.5 Gwei.
I don't think miners have the gas limit signaled properly though,
They
right?
don't. That's what I'm starting
No.
to see from other channels.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
were working on that
Ultrasound Money
yesterday.
is live for me. We've burned 0.87 ETH.
Oh my God, look at this.
Wow. Oh wow.
Ultrasound
Almost a
awakening.
full ETH. Oh,
Wow.
Ether/burn. Okay.
Someone prepared for this
Yeah,
moment.
Ether chain has a burn metric as well.
We've done 1 ETH now, according to Ultrasound Money, just updated on my end.
And if you zoom out a little bit, and you'll be able to see the burn leaderboard,
Wow.
which
My new favorite
Which is
website.
bugged out.
okay, there's a bug there.
I'm pretty sure that means I have all of the ether left. I don't know about you guys.
There's no ETH left, guys.
I've got it all.
Wow, this is a supply shock.
Hyper giga
Okay, zoom
Ultrasound
back
Money
in, remove the
confirmed.
leaderboard.
Okay. Abandon
Hey,
that.
if I name and shame on stream pools that are like pushing the limit down, I wonder if they'll react.
Let's try.
Maybe.
Oh man. We think F2 pool and Nano pool, 2 miners, Hivon, and Spark pool are all pushing it down.
The gas limit?
As in
Yes.
they kept their default. They kept
keep their
they kept the
default
number
settings.
likely the same as before.
I actually have a
Wait,
few of them
so-
on chat. I'm gonna go
So what-
quiet.
what does that
Do
mean?
you have any
Like, why is that
estimations
bad?
as to how long it's going to take them to get that updated?
You
Oh,
can
no,
do it
not at-
live with an RPC call, so you don't have to actually cycle your node, which is good. But it just depends on if and when they do it.
So
Negative 100% gas target.
There's
Someone out there has I forget, I thought it was Ether Chain has a site that tells you what they're signaling by pool, but I can't find it right now.
Wow, almost 3 ETH burnt.
Yeah, thing is, this shouldn't be happening with like a regular. We're like in normal situation. Like
No,
if blocks continue to be full, right?
Well, there's
If
issuance
there's-
as well.
Right. Well, if the situation normalizes, then blocks will go down to being half full, but on the other hand, the fee will go a bit higher. Oh, interesting. ETHstats.net. Let's see what's up there.
So
Oh,
the fee
no.
burn has overtaken the non-burnt rewards. Sorry, non-burnt fees.
Tip?
The tip.
Oh,
sorry, yeah,
interesting.
that's the technical.
Wait, where is does Etherscan show the tip? Or, oh, yes, it does. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I see it now. Yeah.
0.44.
Right. Oh, and the,
So my expectation, which is very different from Hasu's, is that we're going to burn about 80%. Hasu believes we're only going to burn 30%, but we're already above 50% at this point.
You hear
Well,
that,
what was
Hazu?
Hasu's reasoning? What was Hauser's reasoning for the 30%?
I think what he did is that he tried to analyze what is MEV and use that as a minimum for kind of the tip as a lower bound.
Well,
but one of the things that
why?
we've had.
Yeah, okay.
Why? Why? That makes sense, I guess, that the MEV is part of the tip, right? But it's also split
No, no.
with flashbots.
What, yeah,
Why
no,
not?
why does it make sense that it for MEV to be part of the tip? What's their reasoning?
Well, the reasoning is that when you pay for ordering, you're not going to pay extra to the base fee so that you're at the top position. For
Right.
example, if you want to do an arbitrage, you want to be at the very top.
Right, but
You
that's
wanna be
only a small
competing with
portion.
others.
That's only a small portion of transactions, right? Oh, I see. But I guess
Yes, but a very high portion of the fees.
I see. I see. So yeah, I guess the question is like, does Flashbots just eat that up? Yeah, I don't know. Well, another question, I guess, is, are they paying for the war against each other, or are they paying to get 100% chance of being included in the block instead of 90%? I guess there's some of both.
Where's the tip field in the block on Etherscan? I don't see it.
It is per
so
transaction.
Well, if you see
It's in the block reward.
Yeah, see how it says 2 plus
Ah.
some blah 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 plus blah blah blah, the second number.
Ah, that's the tip. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are healthy tips.
Nice.
We should stabilize, over time.
wow.
It's just
Okay. So cumulative fee burn 8.28. Last one is 0.828. That's kind.
So far there aren't many wallets that have enabled that people are using that have
Mhm.
this functionality enabled. So that might be throwing things off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's 'cause
wow, the,
MetaMask hasn't
blocks are-
enabled.
I think we're under target for the first time or close to the first time. Block 41 is at 20 is only 23% full.
There's been a
Ah,
few that have
There
been
were a
really
few.
low.
There were a few, and I think
Yeah,
one
there were a
was
few.
someone's mining empty blocks.
So
I
remind
saw
people
one empty block.
what happens when we are not full, when a block is not full. How do things adjust?
It's
The base
smaller.
gas price goes down. So
Yeah,
people
when you're
call
below
it
the
two things.
50% target.
The base fee per gas, I call it the base gas price. It's just only 3 words as opposed to 4 words, and it reuses the gas price concept that we're already familiar with.
Okay, so for this one, plus 46% gas target, 73% full. So the block is 73% full, which means it's over 50%, which means the next block is going to get bigger and base fee is going to go up. Oh, that's right?
David, if you check out that link in the chat, it shows how quickly the base fee per gas can rise and fall over time.
Etherchain.burn.
No, it's a tweet thread.
Oh,
from
your
me.
tweet. Oh, okay. Cool.
Or go to the
yeah,
Google
nice.
sheet, and it really helps to show how quickly things can spike. And
YouTube.
I can even change it live.
How about that ETH pump, Anthony?
it did exactly what I thought it would. This is the same thing that happened after staking went live. The price just like dumped. Yeah, man. Markets are just like stupid. There it goes.
So explain this for us, Trent. What are we looking at here?
Sure. So I just increased the variable. So basically over, let's say 5 minutes, the gas price goes from, or we can even drop it down even lower. So this is probably the time scale we're looking at now, this close. But over just a few minutes, it increases 30 times. And then this is when there's successively full blocks. So that's the blue line going up, and then the red line going down, it drops a little bit quicker if there are blocks which are less than 50% full. And then if you have, 15 minutes of full blocks, or over 50% full blocks successively for 15 minutes, it would spike up to almost 7,000 Gwei. So you can see how this would really quickly smooth out any of these crazy demand spikes that we've seen recently with NFT drops and back in the day ICOs. So probably will never actually get that high. Congestion will be transferred to later blocks.
So MetaMask just tweeted that they're pushing updates to the extension in mobile right now. So
Nice.
MetaMask support should be coming.
It's
So
probably
what do
gonna
you
take,
guys-
like a couple hours for everyone to get up to speed. It sounds like some wallets need to do some tweaking, some miners need to do some tweaking.
Looks
did
like
the base
ultrasound-
fee, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say the base fee for gas did get to approximately where we were for just the price of transaction before the fork, right? So it's like 30
Right, yeah, it
UA,
did.
which is expected and good.
Well, it's expected, I think that, right. Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so and I guess we're at around the target now. So yeah.
Someone just sent me like a private message that I've never on like a DM on Discord with the Pope bot and like the other streams Pope code.
the ETH stream.
Yeah, the ETH Staker stream code. So I have it now.
Oh, share it, share it on
Hudson.
chat.
You're gonna break Pope if you if you share it here.
Here we go.
For all the people
Santiago,
Go ahead.
oh,
Mariano.
sorry, Santiago Paladino from Open Zeppelin asks if we know the percentage of 1559 transactions entering the network. We do not, right?
not discussed.
It's a great question. Can we figure that out? While we're doing that, this is the ultrasound.money.
Oh, interesting. The first type 2 transaction. Let me just check it, and then
Yeah, I just put that in the chat. I think that's the very first one. I was scanning through blocks. But yeah, you'll see it says transaction type 2, EIP-1559, and then if you're looking in blocks, there's a little indicator on the far right that'll show. So somebody, I don't know how many wallets are supporting this directly, so somebody may have crafted this themselves.
Nice.
Who's Nick.eth or Nick?
Whoever he is, he's famous.
He's on the stream.
Nick, yeah. Nick.eth is Nick Johnson. Nick. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. So how long do you think, because we do expect to see some effect on hash rate, most likely, right? How long do you think it will take for us to realize that? Hudson, any intuition based on previous hard forks?
No.
It's going to be hard to tell because like there's MEV to consider as well, right? These miners are still getting their MEV and stuff.
Well, actually, are they? Because did MEV Geth update?
I have no idea.
I mean, MEV Geth had to update, otherwise they would not be.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Anything else, right? But
yeah,
I'm actually surprised. I thought there would have been, more 1559 type transactions, since most of the transactions happening are, bots, arbors, things like that. They want to use 1559, right? They don't want to pay the full amount with the old type transactions if they don't have to.
I think Greg from ChainSafe was crafting some transactions to test. I don't know what the status of that is, though. Let me check.
It's interesting to see the leaderboard. We've got Uniswap burning the most ETH so far. Actually, I don't know. What's this top address? They're number 2.
Chainlink.
Is this Chainlink?
Maybe.
Probably.
And then we've got some NFT.
We have our first block with 1 full ether being burned. That's pretty cool.
What?
That first one is the London token, London gift.
Oh yeah, it's some like NFT drop or something.
For all the people that are in the YouTube talking about the ETH dump, we have to remember now that when ETH dumps, more ether gets burnt. So it's literally bullish selling.
That was one of my best tweets. I'm proud of that one.
And just to put these numbers in context here for people who are tuning in. So we're looking at these burns and we're getting into the 1 ETH, and it obviously fluctuates quite a bit from block to block, but this is offsetting or partially offsetting issuance, which I think is still at 2 ether per block. So just to give people an idea of how that's working.
I'd just like to fast forward and see some equilibrium show up.
Well, I think it's an interesting dynamic, and it's hard to say how it would have played out otherwise. But effectively, the ether that is being burned is ether that would have gone to miners otherwise, more or less. And what miners typically do is they sell that ether that they collect. And so now it's being burned. So that alone is an interesting kind of supply offset, even in periods where it isn't deflationary. And I know we've talked about, all of us have talked a lot about how, we don't expect this to be fully deflationary at this point, although under periods of heavier usage, we expect that it would be or could be. But it's really when you pair this with proof of stake, with reduced issuance, dramatically lower issuance, that it becomes more interesting in that regard.
All of the, on Ultrasound Money, all the ETH burn is just ether that's not being sold by.
So right now, I guess we're in a period of monetary foreplay. And the reason is because we know that that ETH will become Ultrasound Money almost certainly, because right now we're at Mach 4 or a bit less than Mach 4, meaning that what we're burning is roughly 4 times the proof of stake issuance. So we can foresee, it's very easy to project that once we remove the proof of work issuance, we will be ultrasound. So right now is a foreplay period.
Foreplay period.
Get me
6 months of
when
foreplay. Oh
merge,
my gosh.
When merge.
Right.
Foreplay, 4C, Mach 4. I see what you did there.
Don't be so hot
When
and bothered,
merge?
Justin.
Well, Danny, you tell us when merge.
You're
You're
muted,
muted,
Danny.
by the way.
Yeah, DC and Trent tell us when merge.
I can always spat out a random date.
August 6th, 2021.
Yeah.
Let's just do it right now. Can we just merge right now? Let's just go for it. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Like I talked to this influencer on Twitter, and he's saying that Ethereum could be great if we just dumped all our research and adopted the Tangle. How about we just adopt the Tangle?
Oh
guys?
my god.
Oh my god. Don't.
Did we kill Etherscan?
Vitalik just invoked the
Scans
tangle.
down for me.
I think we
Wow.
had Etherscan to death.
I can get to EtherScan.
That's back.
Okay, it's back.
Yeah.
Somebody on YouTube says, as if any of you guys have ever had foreplay. Just FYI, we're getting dissed.
Whoa.
Harsh.
That's why you
Oh,
don't read
wow.
the YouTube comments, David.
Oh, I'm
Agreed.
addicted to them, man.
Hey, whoever just said that, I've had so much foreplay, I do 5 play now. So
I've been living in the future.
Guys, the stream is going to get censored by YouTube if we.
is this made for kids?
Oh,
No, it's
seriously,
not. The answer is
one of the things
Sorry.
that I'm now most interested is seeing what projects do with base fee opcode. There is seriously so much to do. I remember 2017, I had to hard code. So the maker oracles for a single collateral DAI, I had to hard code a maximum GUI price. There was redundant, checking ETH gas station, checking other things to be able to, have the relayers send transactions to the blockchain to update the oracles. That is mostly obsolete now. You can pretty much rely on the base fee to make sure that, any automated transactions that you want to do, that they get mined properly and swiftly. And as well, they shouldn't, mess up with the rest of the, like if you're a normal user, even if I have to send, a very high priority transaction, and even if a lot of people do, that shouldn't mess up with, a normal person. It's like you can still use a normal gas price and be sure that you'll be included fairly quickly. It's plus, we're gonna have gas synthetics and other things. I know, really excited about that. Oh, and we don't have refunds anymore, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
Yay,
did
359.
gas token go to 0?
Oh, that's a good one. Look at the price of Chi token and the others.
Ryan, click that link that Trent just put in the chat. It's really cool. Colors.
Yeah, this is the first Dune Analytics dashboard. I'm sure we're gonna see like dozens of these over the next few days. There's people putting out richer and richer content. But yeah, these are really nice to start with.
What are we looking at here, Trent?
I actually don't know. I just clicked it, but I can tell. I can tell you that the graph on the right is showing the change in base fee over time, and you can see it's rising pretty smoothly.
Nice.
As demand changes. Yeah, I don't know what this one on the left is, but I'm sure it's full of useful information.
So Trent, not to put you on the spot, but I'm curious what your thought is with respect to, so I know we talked a lot of the discussion has been about getting to this point with London going live. And there's been discussion around kind of prioritizing a lot of the ETH1 dev, now focusing primarily on the merge. Where do you think the consensus is among the core dev teams at this stage around that?
Are you asking for timing?
No, I'm just asking what's your opinion. Do you feel like there's agreement that, yeah, we should focus on it primarily right now, or we're looking at probably another hard fork with some additional features and then doing that? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, Danny is probably the expert to ask, so you can follow up with him after this, after my response. But definitely in the last few weeks, once London was we had the initial releases and we were in the midst of getting, libraries updated and, just the ecosystem generally ready. I think everybody came to the rough agreement that we wouldn't be pushing for another feature fork at the end of the year. The difficulty bomb was only pushed to December, so there will be some sort of there will be a backwards incompatible upgrade just to push that until the merge, if the merge doesn't happen before then. But I don't think it's in anyone's roadmap to do something similarly large as London, or even a percentage of that. It'll probably just be a maintenance fork. I don't anticipate anybody trying to get significant changes, specifically so we can focus on the ETH1 teams preparing for interop with the consensus clients and looking forward towards the merge.
So
Yeah,
no
I agree with.
3074?
I would say I agree with all of that, except for the fact that no one will push for things to be. If we do, just delay the bomb in December. If the merge isn't ready by then, someone's going to try to push something in there. And I would estimate maybe something small gets in there, or something that was already planned. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, this is the perennial issue of even if it's a maintenance fork, there's always something waiting in the wings, some neat little upgrade or some optimization that can always go in, but it's going to require a lot of trigger discipline not to add anything in there.
But I can definitely say
there's even optimizations to 1559 I know would be really interesting to see. But yeah.
I mean, sentiment definitely is strong from many of the core devs and most of the client teams that they really want to get the merge done, and this is the big unit of work next. Obviously all the ETH2 teams are pretty on board, but even talking to all of the execution layer clients, aka ETH1 clients, people are pretty game and excited to push it forward.
Yeah. Also, the whole reorg MEV drama, I think, is also putting even more wind into the sails of doing more merge work soon.
Right.
Question from the YouTube: why is it called London?
Because the hard forks are now being named in order of DevCon cities. So the previous one was Berlin, which is DevCon 0. This is London, which is DevCon 1. So the next one will be Shanghai, which is DevCon 2.
And if DevCons keep getting delayed, or if we do more than one fork a year, we're gonna outpace ourselves.
We can just start making weird names again.
Yeah, we can always go back to weird shit like Tangerine Whistle.
Yeah.
Was that a real?
That was a real one, right? Yeah.
I was actually
that remark was as spurious as the dragon.
Yeah, the names, you know how names used to get decided before Ethereum got bigger was just the all core devs chat. We would just be like, what do we want to name it? And everyone's like, I don't know. And then Martin Swinday just came up with just bullshit. And we said, okay.
Speaking of bullshit, Eric, how has mainstream's coverage been of this, of EIP-1559?
Yeah, I was actually yesterday. CNBC put out a pretty good piece on it, I thought, which, it's kind of shocking to see mainstream have decent coverage of this stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what comes out today, if it gets any coverage on TV as well. But I guess I've been decently surprised so far. I mean, it's a pretty hard concept, I think, for mainstream to cover and translate to their readers, right? Because most readers probably don't even understand the fee mechanism we had before. So I think most of them have been approaching it why is this good for investors, and focusing on the burn and less of some of the other benefits. But at least yesterday we had a good start. I appreciate that the CNBC author actually reached out to people in the community, which was nice, instead of like asking Bitcoin maximalists what they think of EIP-1559, which is the typical path.
What do they
you
think,
Pom.
Eric, of 1559? I think they're really happy about it. I saw that they were celebrating, giving us words of encouragement.
Saying, hey, congratulations, Ethereum community.
Yeah.
really
nice.
happy for you guys.
Yeah, it was weird to see them so nice.
Right. It looks like we actually just got another article on CNBC's main page. So it'll be interesting to see how this is covered throughout the day.
It's trending #1 above Bitcoin.
Nice.
Right, that's what
they're
Bitcoin
gonna-
maxis were so impressed about, right?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for them to have Pomp on during lunch to talk about EIP-1559.
Pomp comments on EIP-1559. I've been bullish this entire time, says Anthony Pompliano.
Apparently, Reuters follows Anthony's 1 minute chart because it says Ethereum major upgrade activated, Ether stays lower.
Hey, it did drop a little bit on the 1 minute chart, all right?
Those poor dopamine receptors.
Man, my whole life is dopamine. I have 6 monitors in front of me. If I step away from my computer, I start collapsing.
I did not even know.
Yeah, this is a good article on CNBC here. That's great.
Yeah.
It was just last week we were seeing like a lot of conflation in mainstream media with like it's hard to separate ETH2 and staking and EIP-1559. We wanted to kind of smush it all together in the same upgrade. So I guess it's just the Ethereum narrative and deployment schedule around this stuff is more complicated than the halvening. Like Bitcoiners have it very easy in that respect. Like every 4 years, there's one big thing that's happening, and like everyone knows what it is, entirely predictable. It's a bit harder to parse apart the Ethereum story if you've been only semi following it.
It's easier to plan a big party.
That article is by Mackenzie Sigalos. She's the one during I retweeted during Bitcoin Miami that she really succinctly described what was going to happen with Ethereum. She's like really well informed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, what is the change that's setting the stage for the other major transformation that'll make miners irrelevant? I didn't think there was any proof of stake preparation stuff in London.
That's a narrative that the media has been going with because it sounds good, but it's not true.
It's
Okay.
Well, the way you can skew it that way is I and others have been saying we have to get London done, and then the next thing is the merge. And so like it was requisite to complete before we can move on.
Okay, fair.
No,
Yeah,
I have seen, I think it was on, actually I don't remember the location, but yeah, a lot of people have been misunderstanding that this actually has proof of stake components, or that this is the proof of stake going live on mainnet upgrade.
Yeah, that's false.
I saw someone
no,
tweet
this
that
is,
ETH2 was coming today, so there's that.
Oh god.
Look, I'm not gonna like
David Hoffman. David Hoffman.
I'm never gonna like criticize someone for getting like stuff about Ethereum wrong, because it's complicated. And I remember when I was learning Ethereum, I made the same mistakes, but they're on a public TV show, dude. Like you kind of gotta dot your I's and cross your T's.
Do they? They don't normally.
1559 is actually trending in technology on Twitter, which is interesting.
Wow.
People just like, what is this number? What does it mean?
Right. What Illuminati bullshit is this?
Right.
1559 what? Man, we must look really silly to people who have no idea what's going on. Like imagine visiting our Twitter profiles. What is it in EIP 1559? It's a shadowy supercoder just communicating with each other. Secret language.
I am surprised that the Ethereum community was never able to come up with a different name for this. It just went with the generic EIP 1559.
It caught on. That's the thing, though. Like it caught on, and then you couldn't change it.
It's the burn. The next fork's the merge.
Yeah.
What's really funny is when I wrote and submitted the EIP on GitHub, you're supposed to like follow a process, and like I didn't follow it. I just picked a random number, and it happened to be 1559 for some reason.
Oh,
But
is that
it
how
actually-
1559 got selected?
Yeah, it wasn't like actually in the order of what it should have been. I forget what the number.
You didn't
should have
use
been, but-
69? What?
Yeah. It's because I thought that's where the EIPs had left off, but it wasn't. I was just confused. So yeah, funny story.
Fun. Well, I mean, now it's forever embedded into Ethereum law.
Right. It's a meme. Yes,
Guys, what's next? Has MetaMask updated yet? I want to send a transaction here.
They say they're rolling it out. I've been trying to force update mine, but I'm not seeing it yet.
They still don't have a release on GitHub yet. It's still on 9.8.4.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll
Ryan,
send
if you
that
go
on.
to Ultrasound Money and scroll down to project the supply, the base gas price is currently 51 Gwei. So go ahead and do that and see. I think we can clearly see that the supply is going down.
Well, the supply is still going. Oh, I see.
Assuming the
Like
merge.
post-merge, yeah.
Post-merge.
Post-merge, yeah.
Yeah, and I think at the 51 level, that might even exceed the theoretical maximum PLS issuance. So here's one fun philosophical question. So if we have the burn, and the burn goes so far that the ETH supply goes all the way down to 11.9 million, does that make Ethereum 100% pre-mined? And when it goes even lower, do we become 105% pre-mined?
Vitalik, have you heard about all the Blockstream people trying to lobby the regulators to remind them that Ethereum's or Ether's a security? Notice this is going on?
Oh yeah, I did. I saw that on Twitter. I mean, no.
Is
Ethereum,
there actually evidence of that, or is that
is
theoretical?
Ethereum is a security-oriented blockchain.
Love it.
And Danny, to answer your question, no, there's no. I mean, CFTC has already ruled that Ether is a commodity, so that's.
No, I know. I meant evidence of the lobbying. Also, Vitalik, you're going to be quoted out of context.
Ethereum is a security, Vitalik Buterin.
Yeah. Oh man.
David, now you are as well.
Ethereum is a security, Vitalik Buterin, David Hoffman.
Right. CoinDesk is writing an article right now.
Oh man.
Talking about
It's just funny how like
security-
whenever
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say whenever these major upgrades happen, like it was the same thing when proof of stake was going live. They just come out of the woodwork and start just flooding Ethereum. It's like, thanks for the free marketing, guys. Like seriously.
What are you saying,
I was
Justin?
just going to say that talking about security, we almost have an all-time high in terms of economic security. So basically, the amount of ETH that's staking, that's about $17 billion. And from what I can tell, it's by far the most secure blockchain in terms of economic security, even greater than our friends at Bitcoin.
17 billion.
Yeah.
staked?
John Adler. Oh, sorry.
Is that 17 billion in ETH staked you're talking about?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's two things. Like, first of all, it means that if you want to pull off a 51% attack from a budget standpoint, you kind of have to the naive attack is just to match the $17 billion. And so that's the budget that you need. But then there's this other concept, which is the cost, which is if you do make an attack, then you will get slashed and you're going to lose billions of dollars. And here it's very, very high for Ethereum 2.0 and the Beacon chain. And this is one of the places where it distinguishes itself from Bitcoin, where Bitcoin has no concept of slashing. So the cost is for the attack is zero, but the budget is extremely high.
You just got to get the capital. Then you're God mode.
Right.
Justin, we should do a podcast on this.
It's very interesting. Yeah, like that's a subtle difference. If you can just accumulate capital, you're good. You now own the network.
I mean, all this to say these projections, even though they're kind of like, I guess these are somewhat conservative projections, or maybe like middle of the road projections, definitely does not look like we will exceed 120 million ETH supply ever.
So the biggest variable for the supply peak is going to be the merge date. I mean, if you play with the merge date, we will go beyond 120 million if we are past Q1. So that's another, I guess, another incentive for trying to merge in Q1. We can reach this meme number of 120
it's
million.
also 2020 GWA maybe is like a more conservative, just to see what the numbers look like.
I liked 50. Just me.
Nah. Are you a user or a speculator?
Both.
Yeah, so
I have
definitely
a-
depends.
I have a
Definitely depends on
question.
these variables. Yeah, go ahead, Hudson.
So Vitalik and Danny, looking back at the DAO hack, let's go back in time. Had we not done the state transition to give the coins back to the DAO holders, would that have affected how we do proof of stake stuff today? Because of how much coin they had.
How much coin did they have? It was like 15% of 14%.
No, actually they ended up only taking 4 million. It was weird. Like, I think they could have taken more, but then they just like let the 8 million go. I think, I don't know, that might have been the attacker just like realizing that if they took the entire amount, then we would definitely fork. But no, even with the third, we forked anyway. I would personally say no. Like, I think, well, for me personally, a key part of how I approach proof of stake security, and I think this was true for Vlad as well, is that like we should not be viewing a single 51% attack as the end of the world. If a 51% attack happens, then like you just if necessary, do a community soft fork and kind of reorg past it, and
burn a bunch of ETH and move on.
Yeah, burn a bunch of ETH, and then the attacker does this 5 times, and then after that they don't have their 3 million ETH anymore.
Hey Ryan, watchtheburn.com is back up.
I think that it could have definitely shaken confidence. Like obviously I think it's good to have these recovery mechanisms, but it would have been this like looming thing where people would be talking about it and
whereas now no one talks about it. I mean, most people don't even know about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I actually wonder like what the counterfactual universe where the DAO fork never happens would look like.
Be living on the moon.
I did hear through the grapevine that there actually was a significant number of Bitcoin people that moved from Ethereum curious to thinking Ethereum is the devil precisely because of that event. So I don't know. On the I guess it's very possible that like the flipping would have happened, but on the flip side, Ethereum would be more Bitcoiny and maybe potentially like one practical way in which that might manifest is that there might have been more opposition to proof of stake, and proof of stake might have like been the pivotal split into 2.
I think we would have had so I feel like Ethereum Classic rooted out the super ideologues of Ethereum, the very passionate people who really go by ideology of a pure blockchain and stuff. And I like that they were kind of rooted out. Not that they're bad people, but they're
I don't know if I'd use the term rooted out. I would say it gave them their own space to pursue what ideologies they value the most.
Very amicable.
So it's just I feel like it's at least for the Ethereum I envision, it's a little bit better.
Did the difficulty stay relatively stable, signaling that all pools came? There's no contentious fork.
I just realized that my Nethermind node is on an old version. Wow.
Oh my god.
You're one of those last people who don't realize until the fork happens. There's always a few of you guys.
Cointelegraph is going to write that up as Hudson Jameson forks Ethereum.
He's running the contentious fork alone.
Oh, if you go to ETH stats
with his CPU miner.
I'm like the only node on ETH stats who has an up. Oh, no. There's a few others.
Yeah, there's usually a few.
I'm the only Nethermind node on ETH stats that's on the old fork. That's funny.
Eric, you put the is this the new MetaMask version?
No, that's just
8
where it
days
will
ago.
be.
Oh, we just hit 100 ETH burn, so that's cool.
Nice.
The etherchain.org/burn website is really cool. It's got like a burn rate stat. It says 1.65 ETH per minute being burned right now.
What's the punk
You throw
floor?
that in a
Is that
short.
like 1 punk a minute?
Punk floor.
Or no, that's
It's a
like a
cheap-
10th.
Punk floor is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punk floor is 35 ETH right now, 35.9.
Trent, do you know what the RPC call? There's a new one, right? Like fee history,
Hit fee history. Yeah.
ETH
Live.
underscore. Oh, I just want to try it out.
Yeah, I can grab you. Tim has a link. One thing I want to mention really quick is that over time, the ETH burn per block might drop as a ratio as more people start using 1559 style transactions, because currently it seems like almost every, sorry?
Is that true? Like that would reduce the priority fees. Why would that reduce the burn?
Isn't
Right.
it going to, basically users aren't getting refunded now?
So there's a
right, because-
Yeah, they're not
marginally
getting-
higher.
Right, but the point, like right now, like basically if you like whatever fee you pay, like some gets burned and the rest goes to the miner, whereas like in the future, whatever fee you pay, like some gets burned and then the rest, like most of it you don't pay.
What's going to happen is that the ratio of burnt to tip is going to improve. So we're going to be burning more and having less tip. And one of the things that we'll be able to do is retroactively look at the stats and calculate how much we've been overpaying the miners in tips. Kind of comparing today where it's mostly legacy transactions versus when it's mostly EIP-1559 transactions.
Right.
But the base fee should not be impacted by EIP-1559.
Oh, so now what?
Now what? Oh, interesting. So when it looks like we do have a rough a 200 block estimate of how much we've burned, which is like what, about 105 ETH or so, which is looks like we're burning over a little over a quarter of the block reward, which is an interesting fact.
Peter from Geth just tweeted, okay, all 3 burn sites show different totals. At least the chain is still in consensus.
I was actually joking. Somebody brought this up last night and I said, this is going to be the next supply gate where
Right.
all the sites have a different amount of burns.
Supply gates, it's a more complex calculation now. No
It
one
is,
knows
yeah,
the
it's,
supply.
Yeah, so we have right now.
it's like
But there's no floor, right?
right. The supply gate is being replaced with a reinforced steel door.
So this is on EtherChain burn. It's showing 109. Ultrasound Money. Let's see.
Have we gotten any insight as to percentage of fee burn yet?
Just like
Vitalik
looking
just
at
said a quarter of it.
No, that's a quarter of the block reward. I think just looking at random blocks, I'm seeing about a 3-to-1 ratio between burn and fees paid to the miner. Let me just look up a couple of random blocks and see if that's true. Oh, there's one with a 6-to-1 ratio. There's one with a 4-to-1. And there's also one with a 4-to-1.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
There's one with more fees than burned. There's one with a 3-to-1.
Oh, block 174 has 1.16 tip paid with 1.25 burnt fees, so almost 1-to-1, the highest I've seen.
A block 193 has 2.33 burn, or sorry, a tip.
Oh wow, look at that.
I mean, one thing to consider is that the median
Ultrasound
amount and the average amount is going to be very different. And the reason is that MEV is extremely spiky. And so the tips are going to be very spiky and concentrated in some blocks.
Is Chi gas token at 0 yet?
I think it's not.
Nothing ever goes to 0 in this industry.
Yeah.
Danny.
Oh, good question.
Oh, now
I'm
it's
gonna
a
go
now it's a relic.
Yeah, now people just speculate.
I am going,
now it's an
going to go
NFT
check
in spirit.
on gas token or on Uniswap and see what Chi gas token is at.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I
should
can
open
see it.
Uniswap.
It's still worth. It still has a market cap of 830,000, and it still has a little bit of liquidity on 1 inch. It's probably them backstopping it though, since
Oh,
it's
hold
their
on.
thing.
No liquidity, click to trade with V2. And then with an infinite amount of Chi, you can get $46,000 out of the Uniswap V2 pool. Hear that? Anyone who's got Chi? Yeah, you got.
Now's the time.
Yeah, now's the time. You got $46,000.
If you look
Watch
at
it
the,
pump. It's gonna go
if
up.
you look at that chart there, I don't know if this is like a data error or something, but you can see somebody burnt 100 million of Chi, which completely, you can't even see the other parts of the chart. So either somebody was farming this over time and then eventually just called it quits and burnt it all to get their refunds. That might be a graph error just because of how significant that is, but something probably happened there.
Well, gas tokens were one of the greatest, to me, like economic subversions, and just harnessing something that was available for everybody, and wrapping it into something interesting.
Yeah, I know. So apparently the cool new thing is that people are trying to shill MEV extraction tokens, but which hopefully none of that is going to get anywhere. I mean,
They're also going to go to 0 when
right, when we
MEV
implement
protection mechanisms are put into the protocol.
Right. Whenever we add a block proposer builder separation, so not a good idea to buy.
Just like gas token, it's going to 0.
Yep.
Hey, gas token had a good run though.
Sorry, Eden, no garden for you.
Wait, is that out yet?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Oh man.
So the block gas limit's still going down. So
What's the reasoning behind why there are empty blocks at times? And this was true before the fork, right? There's just empty blocks every now and then.
I guess some miners just like experience higher levels of. Actually, no. Even before the fork, it can't be like about uncle rate issues because before the fork, fees were enough to compensate. I guess. Oh, that's actually okay. That's a good question.
Well, shouldn't meaning a miner potentially is willing to just not take in the transactions because their latency is high to miss out on the block and get uncled? Isn't that probably most likely the reason? Just take the block reward.
Yeah, it's unclear. There, it seems like a very poor calculation of their assessment of the uncle rate, given the value you can get from MEV. So I don't know the exact reasoning other than like, fuck it.
There's a comment in the YouTube saying that they mine empty blocks just to push the gas price up. That doesn't make any sense though, right?
No,
that's not right.
That if anything, they're going to allow somebody else to make more money than them.
Wait, what? Oh. Sorry, I found that. I thought it was Peter's Solagi responding to Tim Bake on Twitter, but actually it was one of those scam Peters.
Scam Peters. One of the scam Peters.
What did he say? And did you almost believe him?
Well, no, yeah, I think I only believed him when I was just looking at the a Discord message and my eyes weren't yet pointed at.
You sent him 10 ETH though, right?
No, yeah, deposit up to ETH and we'll shoot you. Oh, back with doubled amount.
So, if I can ask, Vitalik, anything interesting you expect people to build with the base fee opcode?
Oh, good question. I think, well, one natural thing that makes sense is that like if you're building a smart contract system that has any kind of bounty mechanism for people to send transactions, then it's just much more efficient for that bounty to be like the base fee plus some amount.
Have you seen the Keeper network?
This was like a concept MakerDAO has been trying to push for a long time, right? Or is that someone else?
This one is by Andre Cronje and Jern.
Oh, I see. Okay, no, it's
But-
like Maker. I think.
Yeah.
Has, yeah.
We have another concept of keepers. But
And you can do
Okay.
on-chain betting about on-chain usage.
Yeah. Another nice one is like optimistic roll-ups and plasmas in channels, increasing the or adjusting withdrawal periods based on how high the base fee is. But I think realistically, like plasma is probably not going to see enough of a light of day for that to become an issue. It just the roll-ups are too far and too fast at this point.
Is there any room for plasma constructions given channels, rollups, and other potentially better things?
I think realistically, like in the medium term, there's going to be things that are on Validiums.
Gotcha.
If they don't, like if you don't care about, like if you just want this kind of weaker like guarantee of authenticity, and you're fine with the operator breaking liveness, so like accountable centralization, basically, then yeah, it makes sense to be a Validium.
So what about, isn't Polygon Plasma kinda? What
Nah.
the current network?
They're a side chain, though.
Oh, that's right.
Though I understand that they maybe have possibly some kind of plans to add a roll up or become a roll up eventually. But
Yes.
They have
That's
the
how I
plasma
understand
chain live, but the chain that sees the most activity is the POS chain, which is
That's
like
what I
the
was
side
getting
chain.
confused on.
Yeah. But they do plan to bring out layer 2 kind of tech as well on their roadmap. So that'll be cool to see what they come up with. Man, these burn sites are gonna like be some of the most high traffic sites in this ecosystem. Like,
So I have access to the stats for Ultrasound Money, and there's 2,500 people currently watching the website.
jeez.
And
That's
Danny's
awesome.
cat.
Of course. That's usually the signal at the end of the call for me. Tycho always shows up.
Joe Weisenthal just tweeted out Hazu's article on EIP-1559 saying it's a good read. So that's cool. Thanks, Joe.
Who tweeted that out?
Joe Weisenthal from
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bloomberg.
yay.
Alex from Nansen just tweeted out a graph. I don't know where it came from, but because I don't think it's on Nansen yet, but he tweeted out the percentage of EIP-1559 transactions, and it looks like we're up to 16%. It just spiked huge in the last few minutes. So some wallet must have updated or something.
Metamask update.
Maybe it's rolling
Did that
out.
release come out?
I don't see it yet on GitHub, but
I think if we see any spike, it's going to be from, bots or automated.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
True.
It's like, it reminds me of when Bitcoin upgraded to SegWit, and they were watching the percentage of transactions that were SegWit transactions. But it happened a lot slower. I didn't get the 16% for a long time.
Yeah, that took like what, a year to get to 40% or something.
Yeah, it took a while.
I was impressed by how fast Taproot got consensus. It took like not much time at all.
Oh, hold on. Where was this in the chat? Oh, Svanovic. Oh, that's not the same as Alex Svetsky. Okay, no, I think I got him.
Oh God, let's not talk about Alex Svetsky.
Okay. Looking for group EIP-1559. Wait, what does that mean again?
It's I read it as looking for group 2, Vitalik. That's why I laugh. It actually it's let's fucking go instead of looking for group. Yeah, but I always read it as looking. That's how World of Warcraft Maxi coming out.
Okay, what is GM?
Good
Hey,
morning.
Master.
Good morning.
Oh, okay.
What the hell is going on with that?
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
General
That's great.
Motors.
Yeah,
General-
everyone's pumping GM stock. That's the
I mean,
next
that's not
meme
a bad
stock.
guess in the current environment.
I still
They
say looking
misspelled
for group.
GameStop.
No. Hey guys, I heard there's this hard fork of GM called GME.
Oh, no. Front page Bloomberg. Vitalik pumps GME.
Ah.
Bloomberg is here.
Ultrasound money still has that bug, right? Or are we burning like quadrillions worth of ETH?
No, I think the bug got fixed.
No, the bug got fixed. Yeah.
They needed to divide by 18, right? I've done that. You know, when we released the multi-collateral DAI, I had DAIstats.com and the first block, but numbers in Maker are 45 decimals long, and I forgot to divide by 45. So
At least you forgot on the UI and not in the contract.
it was on the UI, thankfully. Yeah.
Oh wow, we got a 1.7 burn.
That's the highest
I
I've
wonder
seen.
when. Yeah, I wonder when the first net negative issuance block is going to come. That'll be fun.
Next time,
One thing which is
NFTs.
One thing which is a little scary, you see here, there's a flip-flopping. There's 0.1 ETH and then 1.6, 0.011, and then 1.3. This might suggest, I'm not saying it is, but it might suggest that the adjustment of 12.5% is a bit too high. So, you know, we go up 12.5%. Oh, it's too expensive.
I
we go
think
down.
the flip flop thing, it could happen with even smaller adjustments as well. I think like the way that I think I remember it being explained in one of the papers that talked about the flip flop issue was that if there's one user that sets a fee, like one large user that sets their fee at some amount, or if there's like some psychological threshold that lots of people set their fee to, then like if it's under, then it's super full, and then if it's over, it's empty, and so it flip flops. This was actually one of the reasons why I proposed there was that alternative version in ETH research where I talked about like the y equals e to the power of x curve, and I think it's like maybe alternative EIP-1559 design or something. Let me look this up.
Most recent block has 1.75 ETH burnt.
Improve EIP-1559 UX by no, that's not mine, that's a different one. Grr, where is this thing? There it is. Make EIP-1559 more like an AMM curve. ETH research and 9082. That was the thing that I suggested as a fix, both to the current imbalance where technically instead of 50% of miners to bring it down to zero, you only need about like 47%, and also the flip-flopping.
Yeah, Barnaby, I remember he released a couple notebooks and then reports that kind of talked about this oscillation. And I think actually Tim Roughgarden may have talked about it in his report last year. But yeah, it's I'm sure. So in 2 weeks, actually, we're having another call. We've been hosting a series of calls associated with the core dev.
Oh shit, we just had our, sorry to cut you off, Trent. We just had our first block that burnt more ETH than issued.
Oh, well, which one?
263. Sorry, Trent.
Woo.
Well, hold on. Let me check if that includes uncles.
We are net deflationary, guys.
Okay.
It's official.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Wow.
Is this the first Ultrasound Money block?
This is the first Ultrasound Money block.
First
They're an
Ultrasound block.
NFT.
Woo.
Probably an NFT drop.
Trent, sorry about that. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the things we've been doing is hosting ecosystem infrastructure calls. So this is like libraries, tooling, infrastructure providers like node runners who then provide data to applications. we've been hosting a bunch of calls over the past few months to get people ready, and we're going to have another one in 2 weeks. And I'm really looking forward to see what Barnaby presents, because he's going to do some analysis around this exact behavior that we're looking at now, but it'll probably be much more informed and have some interesting takeaways for how the mechanism is working properly and maybe how it can be improved for future versions.
Are those recorded and streamed?
They are recorded. I don't think we live stream them, but all of the recordings are either on the Ethereum Foundation YouTube or the Cat Herders YouTube.
Cool.
Justin, decía algo en castellano para la comunidad latina.
Bueno, hola a todos. ¿Cómo se dice ultrasound?
Ultrasonido.
Somos en un régimen ultrasonido, así que cuando el proof of work, cuando no tenemos el proof of work, vamos a hacer ultrasonido.
Trabajo.
Gracias. That was awesome. Thank you. I know there's a lot of people listening from Latin America.
Okay, now Vitalik, do your 5 languages.
Ultrasound money in every single language you know, Vitalik, go.
Dear, I don't even know how to say it.
Okay, I gotta sign off.
Well, guys, I
Good
feel
work.
like mission accomplished.
Mission
Live stream
accomplished.
successful.
Mission accomplished.
EIP-1559
Mission accomplished.
is deployed. We're all set, guys.
Ethereum not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
Yeah, 1559 setting the stage for the proof of stake.
Absolutely. That's what's next. Is that the next live stream? We're doing the merge live? When are we doing that, guys?
When should we schedule that?
Justin loves giving dates.
Or I say
Let Justin
I need
pick
to
the
go
date
100x
again. It's
on
worked
ETH.
all.
Q1. It's happening Q1.
Guys, the 1 minute chart, like every time you speak about the merge, the 1 minute chart just dumps. Like, save me, please.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everyone. We want to thank everyone who joined this. EPUB guys, been a pleasure to host with you. Of course, everyone who's been on the live stream, thank you so much for attending. We've watched history. I think EIP-1559 deployed. We're at 174 ETH burnt, successful fork. Really exciting time to be in this ecosystem. And thanks everyone for watching. Take care.
And subscribe to the YouTube. Bye, everyone.
Hey guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, head over to Bankless HQ right now to develop your crypto investing skills and learn how to free yourself from banks and gain your financial independence. We recommend joining our daily newsletter, podcast, and community as a Bankless Premium subscriber to get the most out of your Bankless experience. You'll get access to our market analysis, our alpha leaks, and exclusive content, and even the Bankless token for airdrops, raffles, and unlocks. If you're interested in crypto, the Bankless community is where you want to be. Click the link in the description to become a Bankless Premium subscriber today. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for in-depth interviews with industry leaders, Ask Me Anythings, and weekly roll-ups where we summarize the week in crypto and other fantastic content. Thanks everyone for watching and being on the journey as we build out the Bankless Nation.